Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a hits and misses, a follow-up video. I do a trying out new makeup series almost every single Friday here on my channel, and I'll always come back after a couple weeks to review all of the products because most of those are first impressions in those videos. So I have a bunch of products to review today. So why don't we go ahead and get started. I'll have the first impressions listed down below in case you want to check that one out. But I do have a couple products here from Colourpop. So Colourpop recently came out with some new face products. They have the All-Star Matte and Blur Primer, and then also the All-Star Face Setting Spray. You can purchase these individually for $10, or if you buy both of them, I think it's like $18. So a little bit cheaper if you wanted to buy the two. So for the primer, when I first started trying this, I initially actually really loved it. I had it on my list to mention in my makeup monthly in my favorite section for the month of September, which I believe that video should already be up, so I'll have it linked down below. I was really enjoying it. I liked the way that it felt on the skin. It's a little bit of a thicker primer. To me, it almost felt a little bit more of like a moisturizing primer at the same time. I could definitely notice it blurring. And then I watched, I believe it was Andrea who was reviewing it, and she said she felt like this primer was breaking her out and breaking her out in odd spots. And I got a breakout right here, like a right on that like crease right there, and I don't know if I've ever had a breakout there. And I remember it happening and being like, that's a really odd spot to break out, but like, okay. And so when she said that, I was like, oh, what if it's the Colourpop primer? So I actually just stopped using this. I mean, I was using this almost every single day. That's how much I was liking it. So I have recently ceased to be using this, and so I'm gonna have to try it out just a little bit more. I thought I already had my mind made up. I thought everything was going just peachy. Now I'm not so sure. I did get another breakout in an odd spot under my chin here, but that happened while I was in Vegas. Even though I took my makeup off every single night, I was a very good girl in Vegas when it came to my skincare, but I don't know if maybe it's just like being on the plane or the change in temperatures or all of that caused another breakout. But I know that one is not from this because I had already stopped using it for quite a while before then. So I don't know. There's one other product, a foundation, that I'm wondering if it's doing it. So I'm gonna try to hold off a little bit longer, see how my skin reacts, and then I want to try it again and see if I get another breakout, because I'm going to do that for you guys. I'm going to put my skin on the line here so I can try to give this one a good review. But seriously, I thought I had my mind made up on this, and that really threw me through a loop. So I was like, oh no, maybe it is the primer. I kind of always forget about primer. Like, I always blame, obviously I blame skincare, or a lot of times I'll blame foundations for breaking out, but it very well could be the primer because it is a very thick primer. So Andrea said she thought maybe it was clogging her pores, which that definitely could be that with this one. So I don't know. Has anyone tried it? Have you noticed that reaction? Again, I'm going to give it a little bit longer, and then I'm going to be trying it again. So I'll mention that at some point in a future video. But whew, bummer. I thought I was really loving that one. Okay, and then also their face setting spray. I think that this one is okay. I don't notice a lot with it. I mean, setting sprays aren't usually something that like really gets me going unless I really like one. I really like MAC Fix Plus, and I really like the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. And then I really like the Urban Decay Chill Spray. I really like that one. This one I'm like, yeah, it's good. Like, I'll use it. I enjoy using it, but I don't know if I just notice like a ton with it. I really like setting sprays to especially kind of melt everything together, make my skin look a little bit more natural. I don't even really go for setting sprays to kind of like lock makeup into place. I think that's good. But at the same time, like, especially since I've been using powders more, I really like those setting sprays to make my skin just look a little bit more natural, not so powdery. And this one was just fine. $10. I mean, $10 is $10, but this wasn't anything that I was like super overly wowed with, but I don't like dislike or anything. And then the last item that I tried out in there is the No Filter Setting Powder from Colourpop. This guy is $9, I believe. This is the translucent powder. I did mention this, where did I mention this? Was it in a makeup monthly in my favorite section? I think I already talked about this one and how much I enjoy it. This came to Vegas with me. I enjoy this powder so much, especially enjoy it for the under eyes. It is a translucent powder, so I don't notice any like coloring or doing anything different with my concealer. It makes the under eyes look so smooth. It's a really fine powder, so I don't don't notice it like looking cakey at any point. This one has been really, really impressing me. So out of those 3 Colourpop products that I was trying, I highly recommend the translucent powder. So also in that video, I tried a product here from Viseart. This is the Theory palette in Ablaze. This is a face palette. So when you open it up, it looks like this. So you have a little mirror here, and then you have these 3 different shades. So you have a bronzer, you have a blush, and you have a highlight. I apologize for my lighting. It is dark, it is raining, and it is 48 degrees outside. Like, how did that happen? I don't know. I went to Vegas for 5 days and I came back, and it was, not only was it actually fall on the calendar, it was fall in weather. That's just very rude. I wasn't prepared for that. So it's very chilly out there, so I have 2 lights on me today. But, so this is the Ablaze face palette from Viseart. So I like this palette. It's $45. I like it. The shades are fine, but I don't, like when I'm in my review period, how I notice the products that I really like are the ones that I'm just reaching for without being like, okay, what is it that I need to be reviewing still? What is it that I need to keep trying out? You know, I truly have like a list every single day that I go to do my makeup. I have a box with all of the new products in that I'm reviewing, that I go into that box, like, what do I need to review? And I just found myself kind of always skipping over this one and only reaching for it because I knew that I had a review coming up. So I won't say that it's a bad palette. I don't mind the 3 shades. Probably I would say the bronzer is my favorite out of these, but it's just not something that I thought was like super special. It wasn't something that I was really excited to reach for. And I like face palettes, but I was finding myself reaching for other ones over this one. And again, it's $45, so that's pretty pricey for a face palette. I like the packaging on it. I like how like sleek and compact it is, and I don't think it's bad, but again, it's just not like something that I'm saying like, you need to go get this one right away, you know? So it's kind of my thoughts on the Viseart palette. Next up in that video, I tried the latest collection collaboration between MAC and Patrick Starr, a YouTuber here. So I believe this was the 4th collaboration that they were doing. We have an eyeshadow quad with 4 different eyeshadows, and then also a lip color. Now, one thing that I do want to say, when I was filming that video, I was reading off the press kit that MAC sent to me, because I did get the sent in PR. They sent, you know, a press sheet with it with all the prices, the breakdown, the names, the shades, all of that. And it said the kit was $21, and so that's what I said. And I said in that video, I think $21 is a freaking great price, because the MAC liquid lipsticks are like $17 or $17.50 or something like that. So I was like, whoa, that's insanely good. Why did they make this price so great on this collaboration? I don't know, but like, yes, go buy it. That's an amazing price. And I really got on with the shades that the eye look that I did in that video. I posted a photo on my Instagram of these 2 and just, you know, said a little bit of information about the collaboration when it was coming out, the price, and someone commented on there and said $21 has to be a typo. And I said, I'm looking, you know, at the press sheet I received from MAC Cosmetics. It says the kit is $21. I went to Trend Mood's Instagram, because I'm always reading off her Instagram for new releases, and hers said the exact same thing, that the kit is $21. So I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm not the only one who's wrong. Like, we're both wrong then. Yeah, it's $42.50. So I don't know, we didn't get any, at least I didn't get any sort of like follow-up communication of like, sorry, we sent out the wrong prices, we sent out the wrong information in the press kit. So I don't know what happened there, but it's actually $42.50 for the quad and the liquid lipstick. So I did want to say that. So I don't know what happened there, but it appears that we all got that same information, and we thought this was $21. So when I thought it was $21, I was pretty darn excited about it, and especially because I did enjoy my eye look, I was like, this is an excellent deal. Like, you guys should go grab this. With it being the $42.50, even though I think that's a more fair price for this, business-wise, I don't know if I'm quite as hyped, and especially just because, you know, I've been trying this more since that was a first impression. So you have the 4 different shades in here. This is what I have on my eyes today. When I did my first impressions video, I put kind of this light kind of, it's kind of like a brown mauve almost. It's a very interesting matte shade into the crease. I have this really dark matte. It's a very, very dark purple into the outer part of my eye, and I put this really beautiful kind of like shimmery taupe all over the lid, and then I put the olive green with a bit of shimmer on the lower lash line. I really enjoyed that look. I did pretty much the same thing today with the first matte, the second matte, but then I just put the olive all over the lid. I put the 2 mattes on my lash line, and then I have a little bit of the shimmer in the inner corner. I've done probably 4 looks now, I think it is, with this palette, and I mean, definitely there's only 4 shades in it, so it's like your possibilities are not endless with an eyeshadow quad. but I think maybe overall it's kind of just a little bit too dark for me almost. I mean, this shade is almost like leaning on the black side. It's definitely more purple, but like it's leaning on that side. The olive green is definitely very dark as well. And I don't know, just when I play with those shades, especially on my lid, I just feel like everything gets dark in a hurry. And sometimes they're a little bit harder to blend out. Now, I'm not a makeup artist and sometimes I have troubles blending out really dark matte shades. So that doesn't surprise me. But if you are like me and that's something that you notice, then you might have some issues with this one. Like these two shades I think are absolutely beautiful. I really enjoy them, but the other two are just a little bit too dark for me. And sometimes when I wear them, like for today's eye look, I don't feel super confident about it, but it was one of the combinations I hadn't tried yet. So I thought I could try it out for this video to show you. So I don't know, here it is. Here it is. Make your own judgments if you will. You don't have to say them out loud if you don't want to, but but so I wasn't quite as excited about this one as I kept trying the different shades and trying them in different ways and all of that. I still think that it's nice. I think that these are your colors, are your tones, shades that you're not afraid to play with. I still think that you would really get on with this one. I definitely do really like the lipstick. It's kind of a bummer that you have to buy these in the set because this lipstick is so beautiful. It's the one that I do have on my lips today. I really do like MAC liquid lipstick. Their applicators I really do enjoy. This is what it looks like because it has that very pointy tip. I'm not someone who really uses lip liner a lot, but with this one you can really take that tip and line out your lips before you fill them in. I love this shade. I think it's really beautiful for fall. I like MAC liquid lipsticks formula. They're not super long lasting, like especially after you eat, they'll definitely start to wear away in the center, but they're a nice and thin formula so you can easily reapply it without getting too goopy on your lips. So I really do like these. So it's totally, you know, of course with everything, it's totally up to you if you want to spend the $42.50 on the two items. But again, I would just say, make sure that these are the shades that you want, the shades that you'd like to work with. If so, then I think this would be a good deal. If not, you know, maybe you could split it with a friend. If you only want the lipstick, then with eyeshadow, I don't know, something like that. But that's kind of my thoughts and my little like update on the latest MAC and Patrick Starrr collaboration. So next up I have a mascara. This is from Nars. This is their new Climax mascara. So like I said, I just posted my September makeup monthly and this is actually in my favorite section. I do not have a lot of favorite mascaras. I'm more of a false lash girl, but when I find a really good mascara and one that, again, it goes into my like trying new makeup box and I keep reaching for it and I keep reaching for it and I keep reaching for it, I'm like, okay, wait a second, hold up. And that is what was happening with the Nars Climax mascara. It is what I have on my lashes today. I love that it makes my lashes more fluffy. Fluffy is what I like in my lashes. It's what I like in my fake lashes, and I feel like that is definitely what the Climax mascara does for them. It gives them a lot of volume, but it also gives them length. It makes them nice and black, and I have no transfer issues. I actually took this one to Vegas with me. I was wearing it in the 98-degree desert heat, and I had no issues with it transferring, moving off my lashes, or anything like that. So I highly recommend the Nars Climax mascara. And then the final product that I have to review that I have not reviewed yet is this sponge from StansOut Beauty. Mine's very dirty because I really have been putting it to the test, because when I tried it out in that video, I was like, I can't tell. It's definitely different, but I was like, is it good different or bad different? And I really tried to stay away from terms of like, that's weird, or, you know, things like that, because it's not necessarily weird, it's just a different kind of sponge. This is actually like a memory foam sponge. So, you know, it's like your pillow. It's very different. Oh, okay. It's very different. I will say the more that I have used this, the more that I actually have liked it. And one of the things that I was really curious about that I wanted to test, it said after you use this about 3 times, you do not need to wet it anymore. And when you get it wet, like the first time I got it wet, it truly did not feel like it was wet. It didn't even really feel like it was damp. Like it just, like, it was just crazy. It was like nothing had happened. But it really does do a good job of leaving your skin streak free. That was one of like my biggest concerns with like just the material of it. I was like, there's no way. Like there's no way I'm gonna look like a streaky mess after I put this on, and you really don't. It's also a really large sponge, so you can really get into a lot of areas very quickly. It has a whole bunch of different, you know, sides, angles, edges to it, so you can really do anything that you want to do. It is very cool because you can really manipulate it to how you want the sponge to be, whatever it is that you're doing. So I appreciate that. But yes, I mean, I've used this, I really have no idea how many times I've used it now because it's been so many, but you don't need to get it wet, and it performs exactly the same. So this is really cool to travel with. One of my biggest concerns when traveling with a beauty blender, like after you're done with your trip and coming back, well then you have a wet beauty blender and then you don't really want to put it in like a bag or, you know, anything like that. So like, what do? Well, this one you don't even have to get wet. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I'm really glad that I kept trying it because my first impression was kind of like, I really don't know. I was also using it with a foundation and a concealer that I didn't like, that I could tell immediately I did not like those products. So I felt like that could have had something to do with it. But as I've been trying it more, I've actually been really liking it. It's quick, it's easy to use. Your skin looks really good afterwards. And it's interesting and different. These are $20, so they are a little bit more, I was gonna say they're a little bit more pricey. I mean, they're Beauty Blender prices and all of that, but I'll have the website listed down below in case you'd be interested in them. But has anybody tried the memory foam sponges? I'm glad that I kept trying it out because I actually do quite like them now, and I can definitely see myself getting another one of these. Okay, so that's gonna be everything for today's video, following up a couple of my trying new makeup videos. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below about all the products that I was chatting about. What have you been trying? What are you interested in trying? I would love to know. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy this video, you like these follow-ups, make sure to give this one a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.